Hello and welcome to Tuesday Night on Deck, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. And first out, shout out to Chris. I gotta say that was a sweet entrance. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I liked it. Hunter Pence, and he was a little off balance after the swing.
Yeah. So I am joined by Syrup Crispy Bacon. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. Not too bad.
All right. And then we're joined by the coach, Coach Dirk. How you doing?
Pretty good. It's a nice day here in Texas. Went for a 2-mile walk and ready to go. Got pizza on the way for later.
Oh, right. What kind of pizza? You got pineapple on that pizza?
Oh, hells no. Do not even go there.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I would be crucified if I ever did that. However, I have tried it, and it's not bad.
Hawaiian pizza, Canadian bacon, green peppers. I mean, come on.
No
so anyways.
Self-respecting Italian New Yorker would even order that.
Yeah, no, I get it. So, Chris,
Yeah.
why don't you give us the state of the Texas Rangers week and a half into the season, almost 2 weeks? What do we got?
Slow start. I think we're getting there. It's going to be slow progress, but hopefully we get better. We're last in the standings right now, but it's still, the season's still young. Hopefully we get better.
Okay, yeah. Twins are kind of in the same boat. Hitting's hit or miss. The starting pitch is actually pretty decent. I haven't looked, but I thought I read their starting pitch is like top 10 right now in the AL. I could be wrong on that. The bullpen's kind of shaky. Sano's batting 0.67 right now. A couple hits, a home run, striking out left and right. Buxton's dealing with a little knee injury. Probably going to be out the next couple games, maybe the whole series against the Royals, I believe, who's next. So we'll see where that goes. Dirk, how about your mighty Mets? What's going on with them?
Well, despite the loss of DeGrom for the start of the year and Taijuan Walker missing a few starts, the Mets have come out of the gate nicely. They beat the Giants today 8-3 in the first of a doubleheader. Or I'm sorry, 5-4, thanks to Frisco Lindor's 10th inning walk-off single. So the Mets are 8-3 in first place. Their starting pitching has absolutely been lights out. They are they're top in the league. And I've watched a few games, and these other guys, Carlos Carrasco, you may remember him from Cleveland. Tyler McGill is a stud. He's not a rookie, but he was a rookie last year, 6'7", 96 with an excellent changeup. All the other guys have pitched in. The bullpen's working. It's looking good. The hitting's kind of it's not slow. A couple of guys are doing well, Lindor, Nimmo, and stuff. Pete Alonso's had a couple of bombs. Good start. They're looking good. Just got to keep them pitchers from getting hurt. Maybe, this time this year, if their pitching stays solid, Atlanta may say bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's in like the Rangers in a even more reverse case. The Rangers, it's all about their pitching. The rest of the team is pretty good. The Mets got a good team, got good pitching, and and if you remember last year, they were in first place a lot of the year until everything just kind of DeGrom fell apart. So I'm happy with the Mets going right now. We'll keep updates on the Giants game as we go along here, but looking good. All
right. So when's the countdown for the Mets explosion going to start happening? After the All-Star game or before the All-Star game?
I'm not one of them. I'm really trying hard to not do it. You know, like I said last week or at the beginning of our first show, I was like, oh, the pitching, the injuries, will it stop? I'm trying to maintain positive. It's just happened so much with good players. It's combination of bad luck. They're due for a good, healthy, relatively season.
Hopefully.
So I'm hoping,
hopefully when the ground comes back, he'll be eligible for the Cy Young if he deals like he did last year. So
he may be the first starting pitcher ever elected to the Hall of Fame without 100 wins.
Yeah. We got Frank chiming in. Mad Max is dealing. To all the Yankee haters, I'm guessing that's to do with the Mad Max and the coleslaw. I'm guessing talking about Derek Cole. For the Yankees, ain't doing good. So, hey,
I haven't heard that nickname for him, but
yeah. So,
Garrett Cole. He had a kind of a weird year last year. He was not good in one half, and then he finished the year strong. So, for over his career, he's been a good pitcher. He's around that 30-year-old age.
Oh, yeah. He's getting up there.
This is where the little injuries kick up, but he's never been a guy that's been hurt. So I just want the Yankees to lose and whatever.
There's like 90% of the world that wants the Yankees to lose. So, anyways,
Aaron Judge for the Yankees stirred up a huge thing last week when he said he wants to get $500 million.
Yeah,
and he's not happy with what the Yankees offered him. I'm like, oh my God, And this is from a guy that gets hurt every year. Has the possibility he stays healthy. He's going to hit 50 bombs and drive in 150. But history, he gets hurt. He's like Stanton. He gets hurt. When he's in, he's good. When he's not in, he's hurt.
Exactly.
And them two guys, they get the kind of injury. They're out for weeks. They don't get a, rolled ankle. They miss 2 days. They're back in. They get a torn oblique, which is like horrible.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So, like Dirk said, there was a couple finals today. Mets over the Giants in 10 innings, 5-4. Nationals over the Diamondbacks, 6-1. The White Sox and Guardians was postponed today.
Again?
Yep. In climate weather. So they're going to be making up some games. So let's see. So going into what we got here, Yankees, Tigers, bottom of 3. Yankees up 3-2. Cardinals, Marlins, bottom of 5. Cardinals up 5-0. Diamondbacks, Nationals in their second game, bottom of 5-0-0. The Mets and Giants, bottom of 3-0-0. Blue Jays, Red Sox are tied at 1. Brewers up 2-0 on the Pirates, bottom of 2. Cubs and the Rays and Cubs. Rays are up 1-0, top of 3. The Astros and Angels, Twins and Royals just started, and then got about 3 or 4 games left. It looks like 3 or 4 more left for tonight. So, anyway, Dirk, you wanted to bring. I got one topic to bring up first, and then we'll get into what Dirk kind of brought up. Last Wednesday, Kershaw was dealing against my Twins. 80 pitches, 7 innings, no walks. Had a perfect game going. Was it the right move to pull up Chris? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit. We can restate what we said. But Dirk, you're a coach. I know you coach teenagers. So, it would probably be a little different story. The right move, was probably made. But what do you think as a baseball fan? And maybe give us a little coaching.
Well, here's what I think about that. Okay, yes, Kershaw is coming back from an injury from the end of last year. Today's pitchers are a whole different breed of pitchers from the 70s and 80s and earlier, because in the 70s they pitched just like they did in the 60s and the 40s.
Yep.
A thing came up the other day. I saw, like in 1975, Nolan Ryan threw 235 pitches against the Red Sox.
Yep.
Went on to win 20 games, and it didn't hurt him. He pitched till he was 45. Ironically, he blew out his arm.
Yep.
But you may not know, he blew out his arm. The next pitch he threw was 96 with a
Yeah.
blown out arm,
Yeah.
and then he walked off the mound. And, because Nolan Ryan, though, had just about a perfect form for a pitcher. The type of form I like, called drop and drive. That's where they drop down and they push off with their knee. Arm
Yep.
comes back. You're using your whole body. You're turning your hips. All your arm is the end of a whip. That's all it is. So that being said, that's how all them. Tom Seaver was a great example of that, and I may have more on him later. So today, though, they're making millions and millions of dollars. Second thing, the training today, I'm starting to come around. This is my idea. I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but I think the training is so good and so physical today. I think that the human, pitchers train so well and they're throwing harder than ever. They may have reached that point where the human body just can't take it right now. It's got to evolve, maybe in 100 years when you keep doing this. Because, in the 70s, if you had one guy that threw over 92 on your staff, that was your closer. He was called the fireballer, and he threw 95, Now you got all kinds of guys throwing 100. DeGrom last year, he would, before last year, he would touch 100 occasionally. He was 98, 99. But last year, he was 101, 102. And at 32 years old, that's as hard as he's ever thrown. I think with Kershaw, they're really worried about it. It was only 80 pitches. Okay. Me as a manager, I would have given him like 20 more pitches. He could go out and do it. You just don't know. He could blow out an arm in the first inning or in the ninth inning. I'm not stomping my foot, furious mad that he took him out. That's just what they do now. They're more careful. They're worried about the team and stuff. But here's another thought with this, and a couple of the Mets pitchers are out with arm issues, as are the other in the league. So the lockout starts in December, right? Comes January, there's no motion, no nothing. So end of January rolls around, and then they start talking a little bit. So ask me, why are pitchers not out getting their buddies, going down to the local high school and throwing?
Maybe it's against
they're running.
protocol.
They're athletes, so they're probably running and doing workouts.
Yeah.
But why aren't? Spring training is really for the pitchers because it takes them over 30 days to get their arms up to full strength, So why weren't they throwing so that they come into the shortened spring training, with 4 weeks of spring training, and at least they're ready to go out and they can throw 50 hard pitches. They're already got 2 spring training starts under their belt, and they're starting at a point. I haven't heard any pitchers say, I've heard a couple pitchers say, maybe I should have thrown more earlier, but they could do that. Here where I live, Noah Syndergaard would come down to the local high school because he's from down here, and he would throw to the high school catchers,
And I'm sure Kershaw would have too.
Yep. Yeah. And probably Kershaw could have went to Highland Park and done that.
Yeah.
Or they got buddies, they don't need a catcher. They're all pro athletes. They just friend, a fellow baseball teammate, go throw a catcher's glove on. I'm just going to throw to you. I ain't going to throw you curveballs. I'm just going to build up my arm strength.
Exactly. So, Chris, what do you think? Like I said, I know we've discussed on other shows. So, again, what's your thoughts on Kershaw being pulled after 7, throwing a perfect game? What is it, 21 perfect games since day one of baseball? Yeah.
There was.
I think I think they should have kept him in. I mean, you could have rested him an extra day, but as far as like you said about the lockout, I'm sure they have a thing where you can't do certain, you know, activities like
Well, you
throwing at a
couldn't go to the facilities, but there's nothing
right.
against going to the local ballpark or calling up your
College.
catching buddy or somebody that
Yeah.
lives next door and be like, "Hey, let's throw." So
Right. But I think they should have kept him in. Maybe gave him an extra day or two of rest. But
yeah.
What's your thoughts, B?
Well, Dirk. I mean, me and you are old school, so as a fan, I definitely wanted to see him keep going. Because yeah, it was against my Twins, but I mean, 23 perfect games in how many years of baseball? I mean,
Oh God, yeah, 150 years.
yeah, exactly. So as a player, it's tough because if I'm in that situation and I'm about to do something that's, barely been touched upon, coach is coming out and we're gonna fight. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
We might fight in the dugout after the 7th inning. I might go out there, but yeah, give me let's play it inning by inning. 7th inning, 80 pitches. Okay, it takes me 8. Let's say it takes me 10 more pitches to get out of the 8th. Okay, let me go out the 9th. I give up a hit, a walk. Fine, take me out.
I would also go up to my pitcher and say, "Okay, how you feeling?
Well,
How
they had to have had that conversation.
Right. How long
don't
do
know.
you think you can go? How long do you think you can stay out here?"
I think Roberts was going to take him out. He knew when he went in the dugout, he was like, talk to him.
Yeah.
He's like, and
I mean, as a coach and organization, yeah, it was probably the best thing to do was to pull him out. But like you said, Derek, the players now have a wholly different mindset. If the mindset was back in the 90s, we don't see Game 6, Jack Morris pitching 10 innings to win.
and coming back the next day.
Yeah.
Or was that was Randy Johnson?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about Game 6 of the World Series in '91.
Yeah.
And then you don't see pitches. Like you said, Nolan Ryan threw 200 some pitches one game. There's another guy too that we brought up before that pitched 200 some innings and went back out 3 days later and pitched.
Mm-hmm.
And then J-Mac, who likes to bring up the one pitcher that got struck by lightning back in the earliest days of baseball on the mound.
Yeah.
They revived him and he went out there and finished the game. so and as a matter of fact, a couple of buddies of mine actually talked me into it because I first said it was stupid for them to take him out. A buddy of mine like, well, that'd be kind of selfish. So I'm like, yeah, you're probably right, but
Well,
in the long run, I mean, I get why it happened, but again,
but
in
I
the
don't think
dugout,
it's-
me and the coach are going to have choice words. If he's like, "Hey, you're not going out in the 8th in a perfect game,"
But
we're
I
going
don't
to have
think-
choice words.
I don't think it would be selfish if you just go out there and I know they cut down how many times you can visit the mound, but if you just talk to them and say, "Hey, are you good?" You can
Yeah.
even just go, "Are you good?" Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You know?
but
Yeah, but he didn't go to the mound and pull
he
him
pulled
out.
he pulled him in the dugout, which,
Yeah.
like I said, cameras are going to catch us.
And Kershaw is a good guy. He's a team guy.
no.
In his heart, he wanted to stay, but he probably said, okay, Skip, let's do it.
Exactly. And so, I mean, I don't fault him. I mean, yeah, if we would have had this Wednesday night after the game, I probably would have said it was the dumbest thing ever, but,
Right.
After
Well, I
listening
think
to
we
everybody
all
listen to
think that.
reports, I it doesn't bother me, but again, me
Also,
personally,
most
if I was
people-
in the situation, even though I'm coming off an injury, me and the coach are going to have a few choice words and probably get separated by teammates and stuff in the dugout. So,
And we're all talking as fans too.
Yeah,
right.
Come on, do it. But it's a new day, a new age.
Yep.
The thing with all the pro sports. We got Luka Doncic sitting out in the NBA playoffs because of a calf strain. Probably 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, they would have wrapped him up, and because he wants to play, they would have just wrapped him up and say, "Go."
well,
But
He tears
you
that
also-
Achilles, then he's gone for a year.
But you also got to think about even 10 years ago. We don't have the technology as we do now
Yeah.
to treat
No.
that metal.
Well, the thing is did Jordan go out in game 5 or whatever with the 100 and some temperature and play his butt
So
off?
the flu game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it definitely is a whole different story. But it is what it is. They still won the game. Twins sucked that night. Couldn't buy a hit, even if it was 50 cents. So anyway, so Dirk wanted to bring up, and it kind of ties into another story I was going to talk about.
Gunshots are next.
Yeah, so there was a report that over the weekend, I think it was Saturday, Oakland-Toronto game, that the umps blew like 23 calls in one game.
Saw that.
And
Yeah.
so it raises, robot umps. So, Dirk, I'll let you start with it. Do you
I've
think
got
we're
pretty
going to
strong opinions about this. What we're talking about, folks, is having a robot umpire, which is going on in the very low
Yep.
A leagues.
Yep.
They're testing it. Okay. I don't want that. Okay. Now, when they say a robot umpire, okay, the home plate umpire is still going to be there because he's got to call plays at the plate,
Yep.
foul tips, all that kind of stuff. Okay. What I think they need to do, there is a couple of umpires that are notoriously bad, and they still are there year after year. Angel Hernandez, you probably have both heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
He is horrible. Why does he stay? Probably the good old boy network. He's been there for years.
Yep.
They need, they need to do more things like maybe in the NFL they do. I mean, I know they grade the umpires because only the best umpires do the World Series and
Yep.
the playoffs, but they really need to take it seriously. Like the umpire the other night, everybody went over it and somebody put a StatCast type thing on there and said,
Well, you got really some something going on. Are you in the ghetto?
hey, it don't go here easy. There's a assisted living place down the street that's always getting a call.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
that should be the last. There's usually just a couple. And but yeah, when an umpire just keeps making different calls, and announcers say it on TV, it's getting out there, blah, 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 grade them. There's tons of young guys in the minor leagues that are umpires that want to come up. It's just like baseball. There's guys there to replace him. Okay, the guy's been umpiring for 20 years. He's a fixture. He's a name. Dude, you either got to buckle down or you got to give it up. You keep blowing calls. And it's obvious, and it's 99% of it is the balls and strikes. Okay. Yep. So I think they need to grade the umpires tougher at home plate. Maybe they do something well. He's not good at balls and strikes, but he's good at the bases. So maybe he only umpires the bases or something.
Oh, okay. I see.
Hey, So the other thought I had, sorry, one more. It's the big fire truck.
Okay.
Oh, no.
He's toning it down here. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's the one with the driver on the end.
All right.
Anyway, I'm sorry. It's too nice. I'm leaving the door open. But okay, the robot umpire. Okay, computers are exact. Okay, they are gonna put it, and it's gonna go from wherever the letters are to the knees. I don't know how they're gonna figure that out. Sew something onto the uniform or something. So the strike zone is going to be exactly the same. Yep. It's not the same for a 6'1" guy versus a 5'8" guy, but it's going to be from the letters to the
knees like it's supposed to be.
And it's going to go up and down. Here's what I think will happen if they do it. Okay. In reality, that's going to make the strike zone smaller because, pitching on the black, Greg Maddux put it there on the black all the
Oh, yeah.
time.
Yep.
1 inch outside, 2 inches outside.
Yep.
Here locally, high school, they say 2 balls. That's 2 ball lengths,
Yep.
outside. And the umpire called strike every time. The hitters know it. Everybody knows it, right? So adjust. Okay. With the exact strike zone, I think you're going to see more balls called. And then hitters are not going to swing as many pitches. And I think you'll see more walks and less offense. That's just my theory.
Yeah.
I think it's right because I think a computerized strike zone, if you let's say take the top 10 umpires, okay, and average out their strike zones and then put the robo strike zone in there, I'll guarantee you the robo strike zone will fit easily inside their strike zone. Which would be a little bigger, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so batters are going to sit there with the bat on the shoulder, right? And it happens in games that I coach and younger guys than teenagers,
Waiting for that perfect pitch.
The pitcher doesn't throw strikes, so the kid doesn't expect it. He sits there, nope. And then all of a sudden, nobody's swinging at everything,
Yep.
And I think that's what'll happen. I think you'll get more base on balls, unless they do something like make the strike zone 2 inches bigger on each side or.
See, I thought I read too that with the robot ump, the umps are going to have like a little device in their pocket that'll beep every time it's a strike.
Yeah.
They can decide if they can either go with it or call their own pitch. So.
Yeah, it's going to be the umpire's still there. Yeah. It'll be pretty funny when he tries to punch him out on strike 3 because he didn't call him. Just say a buzzer, or something. I don't know how it'll be.
Yeah, it'll probably just a zap or something, or vibrating in the pocket or something. But
what they should do is put it in the back pocket of Angel Hernandez, and every time he blows a call, it zaps him.
So, Chris, what do you think about the robot umps and get more technical with this stuff going on?
As much as I don't want it to happen, and I know a lot of people don't, maybe some people do, but I think the majority of we'll just say baseball population doesn't want this. I think it's coming, though. They're already having, I don't know, we'll just say like it's a play sheet or whatever, on the catcher's wrist, for pitch.
Yep.
Starting with that. So I think it's coming. Just based on that, I think it's coming.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some kind of robot ump technology in there. I still think it's going to be up to the umpire. But then again, we'll get the stats out of there that, the umps, overturn 30% of the robot ump calls or something. To me, I don't like it. Dirk, I think I'm kind of with you that, it's still a human game. We make errors. It's part of baseball. Video replay was something I was against at first, but I kind of warmed up to it and it can accept that because it does help games. The robot umps, I think I'm with you. Especially if they call it like it's supposed to be from the letters to the knees on the black of the plate. Hitters are just going to sit there and wait for that old 3-0 fastball right down the middle or 2-1 fastball or, they're not going to swing at junk. So the games are going to me last longer, I think. But I am reading on ESPN here that, the pitch clock is shaving off about 20 minutes in the minor league games. Mm-hmm. Is that really that big of a difference? 20 minutes?
It's baseball's a 3-hour game. I don't understand. People go, it's 3 hours and 15 minutes. Well, 15 minutes. But the generation now watching baseball, what are they doing? They're on their phone. They're at the game on their phone, probably looking at scores of other games. I mean, oh God! When I went to the game the other day, there was a father and his 10-year-old son sitting next to me. Uh-huh. Dad was looking down at his phone, playing some kind of game, and so was his son. And
what a waste of money!
What are you doing here? But on the flip side, 3 rows behind me was there this 8-year-old that was into every pitch.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he was screaming and punch him out. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, yeah, see, that's my kids, you know.
No, that's my
And
son too.
you know,
Exactly.
he's into it. But today's young people do
Well, it's not even
teenagers.
the young people. I mean, even some adults, like you said, a father son there. You know, he's on his phone. The kid's on his phone. It's like, all right, you just spent $50 a ticket, and you're gonna sit on your phone most of the game. I mean, you know. So Dirk, you brought up the game that you went to had a little controversy at the end. Run us through that. Let us know what game it was.
All right. Well, Rangers and Rockies. So the Rangers tied it up in the bottom of the ninth with a home run. That was a cool moment with 2 outs too. And so came top of the 10th. The Rockies scored 2 runs. This is something else I don't agree with. They did reinstate that putting a runner on second base in the extra innings. I'm like, you know what? Let it go 2 innings, then in the 12th, put a runner on. Because most games don't go to 12. You know, you want to get the game over. You know, okay, I get it. So Rockies put a runner on, a couple of hits. They scored 2 runs. Bottom of the 10th, they're up 6-4. Rangers had 1 out. Mitch Garver, their catcher, he seems to be good, dude. What are you guys doing up there?
Yeah.
And anyway, he gets a hit. He's on first. And then Adolis Garcia was at bat. I believe it was Adolis. Anyway, he's a really good hitter. Hits a ground ball to third. Okay. Double play time, right? Garver slides right into the bag, hits what's his name? Watson, the second baseman, and the throw goes off, right? So it wouldn't have been a double play. Umpire called him out. Okay, so Woodward come out. He said, hey, he slid right at the bag. Everything he did was right. Okay, and I initially agreed with that because they showed it over and over and over. He hit the bag. He didn't slide high. You know, he did all the things he's supposed to do.
Okay.
One little thing. But anyway, that was a double play because he interfered with the runner. The batter hit the ball. So double play, game over. Okay. Right. So it was controversial, big talk around here. However, today I saw something, and when I saw it, because I was like, I saw the play, and I'm like, no, he did it. You know, that was clean. You know, he should have been safe, you know. And but today I saw an article that explained it, and they had a video, and they broke it down, okay? And they did it like this, okay? You have to slide to the bag. Check. Slid to the bag. You cannot deviate away from the bag. You know, you have to be able to touch the bag with your foot or your hand and maintain on the bag. He did that, right? He went into the fielder, and that's okay. It wasn't a dirty play or nothing. That was okay. But upon further review, they said, but when he hit the bag, he kind of launched himself a little bit toward the fielder. His legs were still on the bag, but he kind of lunged a little bit at the fielder himself and knocked into him. And that's what you can't do. You have to, I guess you would say, you have to maintain a natural slide.
So the momentum, I mean, I haven't seen the play. I'll have to look it up. So the momentum probably carried him into the fielder, so that was against him.
But the fielder had already touched the bag and was off to the one side, toward the right field side. Okay. So he would have still.
Oh, so can't break up the double play like the old school.
Leg, but he kind of lunged, not much. It's barely perceptible, but you can see him doing it. He kind of went a little more, and he rolled into his legs, and that pulled the throw. You know, and so that's what it was. So I reversed my decision. I thought he was safe every time I'm looking at it, and probably umpires are going to call it good play 80% of the time. But the Rockies manager said, no, You know, he wanted a review. So it looked clean, but what I read and saw today, I'm like, okay, yes, I'll agree with that.
Okay,
You know,
yeah,
so-
no, they it is what it is. I mean,
Good
you know, there are
call.
probably
Yeah.
still some fans that, you know, are upset about it, you know, but
Yeah.
so looking at the early standings here, we got Toronto, game up on the Yankees in Boston, game and a half up on Toronto, and then Baltimore's 3 games back. In the Central, Sox are 2 games up over Detroit and Cleveland, 2.5 over Minnesota and Kansas City. The West, which we all thought was going to be a battle to begin with, Houston's a half a game up on the Anaheimers and the A's, a game up on Seattle, and 3.5 up on the Rangers, which I got to say right now, to me, they're probably a shock team right now. Shocking me. I thought for sure they'd be a lot better right now.
I know. I did too a little bit.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah,
you know, and it's early. I think we've all said that the first month is going to be a kind of hit or miss on some of these teams. So in the NL East, we got the Mets 8-3. They're 3 games up on Miami.
Also up 3-0 on the Giants right now.
Yep. 3.5. They're ahead of Washington, Atlanta by 3.5, and Philly's back there by 4 games. So in the Central, we got the Cubs and the Cardinals, which are technically tied, percentage points away. Milwaukee's a half game back, Pittsburgh's a game back, and Cincinnati's 4.5 back. In the West, another division we thought was going to be a battle for the most part. The dreaded Dodgers, the Dodgers are 8-2. They're a game ahead of San Fran and the Rockies. Two back is the Padres, and 5 back is the Diamondbacks. So outside of the Rangers, where's our surprise at right now? I mean,
you know, looking at everything, it is very early. But all the teams that we thought, you know, everything looks kind of as it should a little bit, you know. Pirates are at 500, but they've only played 10 games.
Yep. Everybody's played about 10 games, a couple 8s in here.
You know, and the
NL Padres have played 12, so
they're all within 1 game of each other except for the Diamondbacks. So that's looking like, you know, the Rockies are up there at 7-3.
Yep.
They look like, you know,
they're a young team that has nothing to lose. Players. Yeah. And the thing is, they got nothing to lose. Everybody thought they were going to be last.
When I saw them last week, I mean, they got Chris Bryant. You know, they got some good players. Yep. You know, so they could be a surprise. Right now, it seems like nobody's gotten off to Diamondbacks and Rangers 2-7, 3-7. But give it another week or two, then you can say horrible start, because it just takes 1 4-game winning streak to make it not bad.
I mean, Cincinnati's 2-9. I mean, that's probably you know, and they had a fire sale. So, and so did Oakland. I guess I would say maybe Oakland being where they're at right now, 6-5. You know, with the fire sale they had, you know, this offseason, you know, it might be a little bit different.
Oakland always finds guys. Their minor leagues are good. They're like Tampa Bay. Their minor leagues just keep pumping it out, you know, and they're doing that Moneyball stuff, you know. They keep a guy a couple years, you know, and they got somebody to replace him. You know, they play, you know, down 1 year, then the next couple of years they're good with young talent, you know. It'd be kind of nice if they signed some big contracts, see if they could get some kind of thing going. But, you know, who wants to live in Oakland too?
Well, they'll be in Vegas in a couple of years, so. So looking at the stats here, I mean, you know, I'm not going to really talk about batting average because that's going to change. You know, I mean, we've got some people batting over 400 now. I mean, that's going to change here in a week. But, you know, power numbers, we got C.J. Cron at 5 home runs, Alvarez at 5, and Glad Jr. At 5. Yeah, so got a couple of early leaders there. Ramirez from the Cleveland, she got 15 RBIs. Alonso for the Mets has 14. So we're looking pretty good there. And, same with the ERA. Not going to really talk too much about that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I always like to wait after the first month.
Yeah. 'Cause it's all
25
going to settle
games,
in.
right around there, then you get an idea.
Yeah. But you got Chambers with Toronto 3-0. He has a starting game, so he's getting them out of the relief. But 5 games and getting 3 wins. That's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull up some starters here. Baumgartner, 3 games, 3 starts. He's 0-1, but he's got a 1.38 ERA. So
he's been pitching good. I think
Yep.
he kind of feels a little rejuvenated now.
Yeah, Darvish, he got 3 starts, 2 quality starts. He's got a 1.1 ERA or 1.1 record. I mean, Matt Manaea. I think that's the kid from San Diego that they got from Oakland. That young kid. He's got 3 quality starts and 3 starts. He's 2-1. Let's see here. So I mean, it's still early to really kind of predict who's going where, what's people going to look like. But looking at some news here, I just saw a story here. Dave Stewart is leading a group to expand into Nashville. A potential group looking to expand into Nashville. So I know baseball's been thinking about it. So what do we think? I mean,
that'd be a good place. The Nashville AAA team always draws, and they have for years and years. That's always a place that's talked about. If we're going to get a couple more teams, Nashville's as good a place as any. They got good weather. There's a lot of people around. They like sports. Why not? Where else did they talk about a lot?
Well, I know Montreal's been brought back into the picture a little bit.
Montreal, yeah, I think there's some diehard Expo fans that won't go away.
Well, there was
if it works.
There was a report earlier, and I think it got voided that the Rays were going to play half their home games in Montreal and half in Texas or in Tampa.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I think that got voided out because of the COVID restrictions and stuff at the beginning of the year, so they didn't want to deal with that. But yeah, if you're gonna bring in 2 teams, I mean, Nashville would be a good one. Let's bring one back into Canada, Montreal, because heaven forbid that we get a Canada World Series at some point with Toronto and Montreal. Let's say.
It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. It'd probably be very low watched, I would think. It wouldn't draw nothing in the U.S.
It would draw a big crowd in Canada.
Yeah.
You get most of your viewers in Canada.
Yeah. But again, there's talk that Oakland's going to move to Vegas. I mean, so what do? Do they bring a team into Oakland?
That would probably work for Oakland. I mean, the Raiders are pretty popular there.
Yeah, but they would need to revamp Oakland Coliseum. I mean,
that thing is old. It's kind of cool. I've been there a couple times, but it's very old. And the only good thing about playing there is the weather's nice.
Yeah,
it's 80, 85 at the most. And actually, in the summer, it can get cold. If they move to Vegas, it'll be a dome stadium, and then everything.
Well, I tell you what, after seeing the designs of and the look of the Vegas Raiders stadium, man, I would love to see them design a dome stadium with Oakland or the Athletics in there and see what that kind of looks like. I mean, that would be something.
You do know the Raiders owner, Mark Davis?
Nope.
He's building his house just like the stadium. It looks
no, he's not. Is he really?
He's an odd guy. He has like a
Well,
bowl haircut.
well,
Mhm.
Al Davis was.
He goes
a little
500
odd guy.
miles to this guy to get his haircut.
Wow.
But he's a
Wow.
very strange guy, but he's
Yeah.
rich, so who
I
cares?
like a good haircut, but I don't know if I'd pay that much for a
Well,
haircut.
he's a billionaire, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Even
he
if I
could do
wasn't,
a reverse mohawk for all he cares.
Yeah. So
You know.
looking at the updated, let's see here. Where are we at? Today is Tuesday, so nothing really changed. Dirk's already said 3-0 Giants over the Mets.
Mhm.
All the scores still look the same. Brewers up 4-0 now. Angels got 1 run. Well, speaking of the Angels, let's talk about Pujols. I think he's hit 2 home runs so far this
For the
year.
Cardinals.
For the Cardinals, yes.
Yeah.
All
the Cardinal fans I talk to, they love having him come back. I don't know. Let's see. I hope he does well. If he's hitting
Yeah.
250, 260 and has 15 home runs by the All-Star break. But
well,
I would kind of think if he's hitting 180 with 8 home runs, I would think he would have enough sense to call it quits,
Yeah.
in the middle of
well,
the year.
he's
Give him time.
hitting 389 right now. Today he's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And
Keep it up.
can we say that Albert Pujols should not be stealing any bases anymore? Did you guys
Oh my God,
see-
I saw that.
Did you guys see? I mean, don't get me wrong. He had a hell of a jump on the pitcher. I
The
mean,
pitcher wasn't looking at him, and
Yeah, the
third
pitcher wasn't
baseman
looking
was
at
way
him.
off.
yeah.
so,
So 5 years ago, Pujols probably would have pulled that steal off, but you know,
so I have a couple.
Albert might need to keep off the ice cream and chips.
yeah. What do you got there, Chris?
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned Pujols, and I have some notable upcoming milestones I found online.
Okay.
Mhm.
What do you got going for Pujols?
He's 19 away from career home runs. He's at
Yep.
681.
Yep.
Uh,
That's
for
what he's trying to
career-
get to, is 700.
Yeah. He's 7 away for career hits. He's to become 10th all time.
Okay.
He's at 3,306.
Okay.
And for career total bases, he's 13 away. He has 6,053. He would be 3rd all time.
Wow. Okay.
3rd all time.
Yeah,
with
he's
Willie
walked in the Hall of Fame first time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think what they want, and I think the fans would all agree, Pujols, Wainwright, and Molina, all to retire as Cardinals at the same time and all go in the Hall of Fame together. I think that would be the first trio that I can remember retiring at the same time, going in the Hall of Fame together. So,
Hey, here's something interesting that dropped this afternoon. San Diego Padres, first MLB team to reach a uniform ad deal for 2023 with Motorola. They're going to have Motorola on the patch. Okay, so let's get ready for everybody looking like Premier League soccer.
The WNBA.
Yeah, and the NBA.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well,
It's all gonna go there to,
it's all about money.
It's all
Yeah.
about money. I just wish they'd keep the ad things out of the way of the uniform.
Yep.
Make it subtle or something.
Well,
Maybe just
put them on
the
the
sleeve.
sleeves. I mean, put it
Sleeve
on the
would be
helmet,
okay.
maybe. I mean,
But it's gonna go on, number here,
yep, patch
ad
there.
here, team
Yep.
name here. It's gonna be visible.
Yep.
Back at the helmet.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to go, oh, there's 4 square inches. Let's do it. I mean, really, Nike does it with the swoosh. That's been happening for years and years and years.
Yep.
It's just more stuff. You got to see Pepsi, GoDaddy.com patches.
So let's look at some notable series coming up this weekend. Looks like the Guardians will be going to New York. Maybe they'll start playing some games there. Brewers and Phillies this weekend. Giants, Nationals, Rays, or the Red Sox going to the Rays.
Mhm.
Twins, White Sox this weekend could be huge. Blue Jays Astro battle of division leaders. The Royals and Mariners could be Padres. There's the Dodgers Padres this weekend. That could be a huge series. The Mets look like they got a bye this weekend because they'll be playing the Diamondbacks, so we won't talk about them too much.
Well, the Diamondbacks this past weekend did beat them one game.
Yeah. No, they'll squirrel finds a blind squirrel finds a nut here and there. So the Rangers are going to have a battle. They're going to battle the Athletics this weekend. So in Oakland,
coming up is Seattle though for the next 3 games.
Yeah. I was looking at the weekend because right now you're looking at the Rangers, Seattle. I think tonight starting.
Yeah.
Well, next week, starting on Monday, the Rangers and Astros play the Silver Boot Series. That's turned into kind of a rivalry. Things happen. It gets serious, now. Of course, they play 18 games, so oftentimes, you got to wait to the end of the year to see who wins it. But I remember the last time the Rangers made the playoffs, it was just because they won 16 out of the 18 games against the Astros, and they got in by a couple games. If they played,
all we have to do is win our divisional games.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And the home games and the home games.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Yankees, Red Sox, it's not Dodgers, Giants, but it is getting there. I'm kind of liking it. So it does. Things get said, so you throw the records out the window, as they say.
I mean, realistically, we all think, or a lot of people are projecting that the 3 wild cards are coming out of the East. So if you're going to make the playoffs, you got to be pretty much winning your division, or So
it's kind of funny in AL. I think like you do, the wild cards are coming out of the East. In the NL, I think they're coming out of the West.
All 3 of them?
Giants, Padres. Yeah.
I can see 2 coming out of the West. I can
see it coming out of the East.
I can see 1 coming out of the East. I mean,
it just, and I'm probably more hoping, but I think Philadelphia is gonna fart and fall down like they always do.
Well,
they got all the players. But there's always something with Philadelphia, which okay, this is a little thing, and for everybody. So last week, Pete Alonso hit a grand slam against the Phillies, right?
Okay.
Well, it was in Philadelphia. So this Mets fan, and it showed it on video, was videoing it, and he turns around and he's showing all his buddies, right? A Phillies fan comes up, grabs the phone and throws it onto the field.
Well, let's thinking of, a matter of fact, that just brings me up to something I saw earlier today. Let's bring up the epic pizza throw from a 15-year-old kid. I heard
about this.
Yeah. A fan was reaching in Boston, reaching for a foul ball, it cost them the out, or the player didn't catch the ball. The fan, at least one row away, kind of diagonal from him, turned around and just chucked his pizza right at him, hits him in the right shoulder. I mean,
at the player?
No, at the fan.
At the kid?
The 15-year-old kid throws the pizza at the fan that interfered in the play.
Oh God!
So I mean, that kind of brought me back to, what was it, Bartman, the Cubs?
Yeah.
Fans are getting aggressive. I mean, they're, they don't want people to. I mean, we all want to catch that souvenir, but
that's funny. That's probably a $50 pizza too.
Probably, boss. We got a few minutes left here. Okay, we all like the alternative jerseys. Here, let's wear these jerseys here. For special occasions. I understand what Boston's doing with the marathon. Can we please get rid of those ugly yellow jerseys? I'm not a Boston fan. I respect what they're doing. But, man, watching the Twins play them this weekend and seeing those ugly yellow jerseys with the blue caps on
Was it just for one series?
I don't know. I think it's supposed
Because a
to be
lot
the-
of teams in April are doing something. The Nationals played the Mets,
Mhm.
and the Nationals had a steel gray uniform with pink flowers across the front. And that's because April is cherry blossom month.
Yep.
The cherry
Yeah.
blossom.
No, they're doing it. They brought them out. I want to say COVID year. They brought these jerseys out, and they're wearing them every so often. It's supposed to be represent for the marathon. And
Okay.
of course, the marathon was this weekend, and
Well, now it has a different meaning, probably.
yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, it's the meaning to piss me off, is what it is.
My girls that are friends of mine,
Uh-huh.
they like the yellow uniform. I'm like, okay, once a year, it's okay. But that's
You
a
know what?
softball uniform.
You know, if you want to do it for the marathon's Sunday, then wear them for the Sunday game. You know, wear it just
Yeah.
for that one.
Some
Well,
kind
it's
of
like-
memorial.
I'm telling you,
here-
if I was a Boston fan and collecting jerseys and stuff, that would be one jersey I would not put in my collection.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Dude, I guarantee you there are Boston fans that probably hate that. You know,
Yeah, I
they're-
mean, I respect what they're doing. Just like Jackie Robinson Day, everybody was wearing their jerseys. I think they had the Dodger blue 42
Yeah.
on the back of them this year,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
that's fine. I get that.
Well, I mean,
For
it's
me,
like,
I like the baby blue colors on any team. I don't care what team it is. I mean,
Yeah, I
I love
was
the
gonna
baby
say-
blues.
I was gonna say we have it here in Texas. I mean, I
Yep.
like the color, but it just doesn't fit right in Texas to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What, the baby blues?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, because your primary colors are what, red and
red and
blue,
a dark blue.
yeah.
navy blue.
I mean, the Cardinals have them. The Royals have them. Twins have them. I like the baby blues.
It fits good
jerseys.
on Kansas City.
Yeah. But
yeah.
yeah, those yellow ones have to go. I'm sorry. Or just wear them for the marathon game. I don't know. And I know we'll see them more often, but yeah. Anyways, guys, we're around that time. So Chrissy Wilson's chiming in. Trevor Story got his 4th RBI for the Red Sox against Toronto today. Yeah, we don't care. It's Toronto. No, I'm just kidding, Chrissy.
Go Red Sox.
Go Red Sox. I'm kind of torn because I want the Blue Jays to do good, but I know
Blue
Boston.
Jays are going to be good. That
Yeah.
Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, Tampa.
That division right there. Like you said, outside of Baltimore, that's a 4-team division right there. So.
I'd be afraid for Toronto only because you're playing in your home, stadium for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In a
fans
while.
Are probably,
So
fans are probably a little starved for it, but I tend to think that a lot of fans cross the border to go watch the games in Buffalo too, because there's
Yeah.
probably a lot of people in Buffalo that are Blue Jays fans. I mean, it's a mile apart, really, the
Yeah.
cities.
No, I mean, Toronto's gonna be tough. Yankees gonna be tough. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with that division there. So, but anyway, so let's wrap it up here. Dirk, what's your final thoughts for this week? And when does your team start getting together?
We're practicing and stuff. We're playing games. Yep, they're doing pretty well. It's fun. The weather's nice, so I'm enjoying the heck out of it. Got practice tomorrow and Thursday. Games this weekend. We didn't play on Easter because it's hard to get people to come because it's Easter. But my final thoughts. The other day on Monday, I happened to catch on TV the unveiling of Tom Terrific's statue in front of Citi Field.
Okay.
It was awesome. I'll admit, Tom Seaver was my idol, my baseball hero growing up. Okay. I cried when he got traded from the Mets to the Reds. And I cried the other day when I saw that statue because the statue is absolutely perfect. It's beautiful. It's right out front. It shows him in full form. He is stretched out. His right knee is covered with dirt and his foot's dragging on the ground. It even shows his face. He's all like that. And the only thing that I will say is they should have done this when they opened Citi Field 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whenever it was, when he was still alive.
Oh wow, that is a nice.
It's a great, and the thing is, I know this is a Steve Cohen thing, not stupid Wilpons, because they were enamored with Jackie Robinson. And when you walk in the Mets Stadium in the front, yes, that is.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is, oh my God, it makes my heart skip a beat. It
That
really
is nice.
I can't wait to go there. I'm just gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kiss his feet or something, you know. It's awesome. And but yeah, when you go into Mets City Field Stadium, you walk into this big rotunda. All you see is Jackie Robinson every day of the year. Videos, pictures. Granted, you know, that was a great moment, okay? But he wasn't a Met. He was a Dodger, so there's a little connection there. And most fans don't like it. It's not that they don't like the Jackie Robinson. You got to go into the stadium. You got to walk down a hallway before you realize where you are.
Yeah.
You know, so now there's more posters of Mets players in the front of the building, but they should have let it off with this statue of Tom Seaver. And the Wilpons were not like that. Their name got mentioned, and there was huge boos. Go in. Oh, he did that. You know, oh God, it was very emotional. It really was. They did it right. Had his wife and his two daughters there. You know, they had Mike Piazza there. You know, him and Tom became very good friends. You know, I mean, his nicknames. He has the coolest nickname in sports, the franchise.
Yeah,
you don't even need to say anything. Yeah, you know,
it is sad that players don't get recognized that often when they're around. You know, so. You know,
maybe COVID had something to do with slowing it down, but you know, it should have been done opening day when Citi Field opened.
Yep, you're exactly
15,
right.
I think, because I went the first year, 2015,
like that,
14 or 15, but I went the first year, and you know, it's
that's a sweet statue. So
God
Chris,
bless Tom Seaver, and let's go Mets.
All right. So, Chris, what's your final thoughts on what's going on in C2C?
I thank everyone for watching, tuning in, and commenting. You know, it's been good baseball, I don't know, last couple weeks, and hopefully we get, you know, more good baseball this month and every month. As far as C2C goes, we're getting, you know, we're getting up there, and we're adding more shows, and I hope you all enjoy it. Tonight we have Tuesday Night Mania covering, you know, all things wrestling. So make sure to tune in for that.
Yeah, thank you. And, you know, thanks for everybody joining, Frank and Chrissy.
Yep.
Greg will be back next week. We'll hear about his Cardinals next week. But, yeah, just keep tuning in. Top of the hour, 9 o'clock, we'll have Tuesday Night Mania. Tomorrow we got the Bo and Joe show. Joanne's got another show. I keep forgetting the name of that. Something with health. And then sports.
You got to say something with help.
Yeah,
while you're shoving a pizza in your mouth.
Yeah, someday I can never pronounce the name, but she's doing good with the ladies. Mm-hmm. Sports Minute tomorrow we'll be revealing. You know, just because we like to pick on Isaiah, we'll be revealing our 2022-23 NBA rosters for our favorite teams. Outside of that, just keep checking us up. NFL draft's coming around the corner, so we will be doing a first round Thursday hosted by Chris P. Bacon. So, with that being said, guys, check us out next week. This is Big B, Crispy Bacon, Coach D. On deck. We'll check you next week. Have a good one.